What up, ninjas? Gajo here, and again, we got an excellent review for you today. Another awesome Transformer, Transformers Prime, RID Bulkhead. Yes, very nice, excellent figure we have here for you today, boys and girls. Got the Voyager class Bulkhead. Now, I don't care about first edition and all that stuff because I did not pay a ridiculous amount of money for a first edition, and I am not going to. I don't care for the first edition. I believe it was blown way out of proportion, and this right here is not too bad. Now, some of you might get a little raged about the whole mech tech thing. I actually like this. Reason being is that the LED, if you can't tell, oops, see if I can get it to work right, actually works inside the ball. See, as you can tell, it kind of transfers into the ball. And it spins freely too. It actually spins really nice. And I mean, you can, I'm not going to lock this one out, but you can if you want. You can put a rubber band on that and it will lock out, so you can have your button on and off, obviously. No big deal. And then they also give you, like with most of Voyagers, an additional weapon. And this is just basically a little rammer, little tiny spikies on it, and some weapon ports. So you can pretty much do whatever you want with this. It's not a big deal. It's actually kind of cool. You know, not something Bulkhead uses, or at least that I know of, but still not a bad tool. Take this off, and you see it's kind of like his tail light and his headlight all at once, and then it just kind of spins out freely. So, and then there is a metal pin in there. You can't really take that out. I don't know why there's a hole in the end of it, but whatever. Probably so they can't mess it up. Yeah, I mean, you could take this apart and the spring would be right there, I'm assuming, considering that this is similar to the other ones. And that's what you just need to do. It would still be able to do the spinny thing and all that fun stuff, and the LED. Not a big deal. If you want, you can stick this up top, though. That looks kind of cool. Nothing special, though. I mean, Bulkhead himself is an amazing figure without the tools. You don't really need tons of weapons to make him awesome. So, the car. Not too bad underneath. Really nice up top, though. These painted green windows aren't really my forte. I'm not a big fan of painted green. This kind of bothers me because you can flip this up and it can be like that, or you can flip this down and it can be like that. When you flip it down underneath the car, it's ever since everything is so close to touching the bottom, I just don't like it down there. I mean, it can freely roll and everything, and it's nice. It's not like that's a big piece of crap. It's actually really cool. So, as you can tell, painted windows on the sides, clear window in the front though, however, and it has that kind of like Cybertronian stuff, so you can't really see what's inside, and so on and so forth. So why don't we transform those guys? Let's transform them. So first thing you want to do, flip up these back tires back here. These, both sides will flip up, and then you can start transforming them down like that. You grab his arms, flip his fists out, like so, and then go for the doors here. They'll just kind of come out and forward. Once you get them unpegged from the top there, this will come out and forward a little bit. You don't want to pull them all the way forward, just a little bit. So get them unpegged from the top, and it'll come out and forward. Very nice. And then the front is where we go next. Go in. Grab the first leg, grab the second leg, and bring her down. You can fold all this up if you want to. Alright, so we got that. I'm going to straighten out his body here, or which will become his body. And then you flip his legs around like so. And then with his foot, you flip the gray part out like so. So you can kind of create his foot, and then this comes down like so. And it will lock into his foot. So get that down. Lock it into his foot. Basically, that's his lower parts of his body. Now, let's get to the upper parts. First thing you want to do, definitely, is get these little windows back here. You can't see them, the ones back here. I want to get those kind of folded out sideways like so. Or if you want, you can just turn him upside down so you can get your shoulder pads ready to be put onto him. So then his arms will fold out. It's kind of like you need to do it in a certain order, otherwise it just won't fold together right, and you'll be kind of fidgeting around with this thing for a while trying to get everything into its proper place. I mean, it works, it's just it takes longer. So then what we go and do is we find where all this connects into. Now his back piece will peg into the little slot in the back, so that happens, and then you get his backpack. And then this will flip down, and that will meet in the front for his chest. Then you fold the doors in. You can arrange the doors however you want, however you see fit, however you like it. You can fold his shoulder pads out like so. Just a little flap, pull it out. You can put it over his shoulder. Same thing with the other side. And then for the epic head reveal, push in and flip it down, and epic head reveal. And basically, you guys got yourself Transformers, RID, Bulkhead. Oops, stand up. Stand up, you. Stand up, you. So, RID Bulkhead is basically, definitely, in more ways than one, a complete redeco of Bulkhead as Voyager class in general. The original first edition had a lot of really nice features about him that were nice and subtle, that were really good to the character. This one has more of a nice face and color. But the first edition had the aesthetics. So that's why I tell people, don't even bother telling me about the first edition and it's better. Yeah, it is and it isn't. It is and it isn't. It is and it isn't. So, as you can tell, there is his face, and it looks pretty dang good for Bulkhead. Now, this is a really neat little feature that his jaw can move up and down. So you can, get him doing some speaking. That would be really cool. They usually don't include that on very many figures. That's usually something that's very, kind of like the last, second to the last thing they talk about probably when they're in there making figures. And as you can tell, he's a stubby little robot. Well, not necessarily little, but he definitely is a stubby robot. Now, the one thing I will tell you, though, is this powerizer weapon, or mech tech weapon, or whatever you want to call it, will weigh this guy down quite a bit, like on the side that you have it on. So if you clip it in, he's kind of more tippy towards the other side. So, I mean, it's not that bad. A lot of people probably won't display him with his weapon on, but you can have his weapon on, and it will, you can have him extend it out and do the mech tech thing, and he can use his wrecking ball, obviously, or you can peg this into his arm, and he'll have some sort of ramrod smashing device to bust down doors like a boss. So, I mean, all in all, he's really not that bad of a figure. I totally like him. I would totally recommend you guys picking up. This is Gajo with a review of Transformers RID Bulkhead. Get some close-ups at the end for you guys, and peace to the out.